Dave Chappelle is speaking out about the controversy over his Netflix special. Dave posted a 5-minute video on Instagram where he said he was willing to meet with members of the transgender community who were angered over some of the jokes he made in the special, but only under certain conditions. Watch.
First of all, you cannot come if you have not watched my special from beginning to end. You must come to a place of my choosing and a time of my choosing. And thirdly, you must admit that Hannah Gadsby is not funny.
So Hannah Gadsby is a gay Australian comedian who blasted both Netflix and Dave Chappelle after she was used as an example of how Netflix also streams inclusive content. What did you think, Al, of Dave's conditions? I
thought it was fair. I mean, the only reason that I even felt comfortable speaking on it when we initially did a week and a half ago is because I was up early that morning and watched it at like 3 o'clock in the morning. It was quiet. I had a chance to take everything in. But I think especially at that point, most people had not seen it. And even a couple weeks later, people are busy. They don't have time to sit down for an hour. So I get a lot of people haven't seen it. I guarantee you there's more people commenting on it than have seen it. And that's a scary thing. And the really troubling thing with that is the people commenting on it that haven't seen it have now made it so that moving forward, it looks like Dave will have more trouble getting things seen. But people have affected that even though they haven't seen the work yet, which is scary, I think. It's a bad precedent to set.
Yeah, I have to agree with the commenting when you haven't seen it thing. Yeah. Because I think maybe just the position that we're in as well, when we first started having this conversation, I was very transparent. I hadn't had a chance to see it yet. And then I felt very uncomfortable making any comment because what am I going to say? Mm-hmm. But then we don't think about it that way. We think about things in terms of social commentary. And then someone that you brought up earlier, someone that you like or respect has an opinion on something that maybe they've seen or haven't seen, and now because you're aligned with this person, then that's your opinion too. Mm-hmm. And I think when we're dealing with any subject matter, it is important to get context behind the issues that we're talking about. I find Dave Chappelle to be a very interesting person to try to summon in general. I mean, he did walk away from tens of millions of dollars because his sensibilities didn't align with how he was going to get that money. So the idea that he would be called to the table, I would fully expect for him to come back and say, these are the conditions in which that would happen.
And one last thing that I think the scariest thing of all of this is, more than anything, art needs context. You can describe stand-up, and if I just read it to you on a piece of paper, you'd be like, this is the most reprehensible thing that I've ever had, because you need to be there. You go to comedy clubs, it's context. The whole point is context. Tongue-in-cheek, I'm being over the top, I'm being satirical. It's context, and without that, art can easily be condemned, and this is the way we're going down. We're going down a road where people that are squares are writing things that, yes, are black and white, or describing a painting, but they're not giving it any context. So people that are going to read it and say, that's terrible, but without any context. So this is a way to attack art and attack thought, and it's happening. And anybody that's commenting on this that has not seen it is complicit.
I completely agree with you, and I want to support you. And I watched the special, and I liked the special, and there is way more depth about it in the special.
I'm not saying he's right or wrong. I'm just saying watch it.
He has an opinion.
Just watch
Absolutely.
it.
Yeah. My thought here is just with Hannah Gadsby. She got brought into this unwillingly, and if it were me or I would not want my name. Now she has all these haters of Dave Chappelle fans, and she wrote out, like, get away from me. I didn't want to be involved in this. I don't want to be part of this emotionally stunted worldview. That's how her opinion is of Dave Chappelle. And yeah, she probably shouldn't have been brought into this. And now he's kind of putting her down, and I get it's a joke, but I didn't want to be put in the mix, and now she's in the mix. I kind of feel for Hannah. I don't want to be too square, but that stinks for Hannah.
No, I think both can be true.
I think the end result is going to be a really good one. I really do. I think, Dave Chappelle, whether or not his jokes were misconstrued, whether or not you saw the special or not, at the end of the day, he seems to be a very compassionate person. He's open to having a conversation. Hopefully they have this conversation. Hopefully a lot of people tune in and a lot of people learn something and gain some empathy. So I think this will actually end with a really, it's going to be a good result.
I love your optimism.